While they were certainly amongst the favourites before a ball was even kicked, Brazil's start to the World Cup has shown everyone that the most successful football nation still means business. With a perfect start to their World Cup run and other nations struggling to find some consistency, Brazil are quickly becoming outright favourites to win the World Cup. While they may have lost Neymar due to an injury, Brazil have a number of different tricks up their sleeve to easily beat any opponent, and so far have looked in total control. So how exactly do they play? Let's take a look. While they played a 4-2-3-1 in their first match with Neymar as the playmaker, their match against a tough Swiss team saw them switch to a 4-3-3, with the introduction of Fred as the box-to-box midfielder. Nonetheless, the tactics remained consistent, and there's a few interesting rotations that help them quickly move up the pitch. The initial build-up structure resembles a 4-1, with the fullbacks out wide and Casemiro in the centre. This structure worked very well against Switzerland given their 4-4-2 defensive structure, which meant Casemiro could create a 3v2 in the centre, given the other two midfielders being preoccupied with Fred and Paqueta, with the wingers having to stay wide to cover the fullbacks. However, at times Casemiro can find himself being man-marked, which would make it difficult to move through the centre. To counter this, a number of different rotations can occur. If Casemiro moved over to the right, then either Paqueta or Neymar will move into this position, freeing up space up top which Fred would move into, creating a front four attacking block. However, if Casemiro found himself moving over to the left, then Danilo or Militao can invert to form a double pivot in the centre, allowing both box-to-box midfielders to push up and form a front five. This means Brazil are able to quickly break the first press by outnumbering the centre and having one more offensive player on the back line. Once the front four is formed, then Brazil don't waste time in looking for a ball over the top. Richarlison, Vinicius, Raphinha and Fred take it in turns to drop off the back line, dragging a defender off his line and looking for a ball over the top. As we can see here against Switzerland, with Raphinha coming short, freeing up space in behind for Fred to move into. Or in this situation with Paqueta coming short and Richarlison instantly ready for a ball in behind. Given how good Brazil are on the ball, it often means they can quickly gain ground and will hold the ball in the opposition's half for long periods of the match, where they have a very patient but structured approach. In this second phase of play, Brazil don't tend to have their fullbacks push up too far and prefer having Raphinha and Vinicius stay as high and as wide as possible, as both players are incredibly effective in 1v1 situations. The fullbacks and wingers staying this wide creates a lot of issues for the opposition. If they stretch the cover, then the combination of midfielder, striker and winger can instantly create a 3v2 out wide. However, if they don't stretch, then a ball out wide and forward means Raphinha or Vinicius can be in a 1v1 and dribble past the back line. This structure gives the two box-to-box midfielders a lot of freedom to constantly rotate, either dropping deep to receive the pass or move into this position between the lines, creating a numerical advantage in attack. The constant forward and backwards movement creates a lot of stress for the back line, which will eventually break and Brazil can find space to play the ball over the top. Now, the true danger from Brazil, and where the majority of chances are created, is when the team is finally able to pick out either Vinicius Jr. or Raphinha on the flanks. Given how Brazil can quickly create overloads out wide, the opposition has to rotate to cover all these gaps, freeing up a lot of space on the opposite flank for a 1v1, as we can see here in the 30th minute in their 2-0 win. Serbia shift to cover, leaving Raphinha completely isolated on the right flank, and a ball over the top allows him to pick out a player in the centre. The most dangerous opportunities, however, are created when shifting from right to left, as Vinicius has been incredibly effective from this position. Given him always staying as far out as possible and will usually sit in an offside position, the opposition at times seems to forget he's there, and has incredible timing and pace to get back onside before cutting behind the fullback, and finding himself in the box. As we can see from Raphinha's cross against Switzerland, this through ball from Thiago Silva against Serbia, or his disallowed goal against Switzerland. He is a constant threat on the left flank and will surely be a massive player for Brazil in the knockout stages. Brazil's offensive structure allows everyone to play to their strengths, whether it's Vinicius and Raphinha cutting inside, Casemiro dictating play, or Richarlison getting on the end of any crosses. Each player has an essential role to make the team tick. But one very important part of their game is how they regain possession, and Brazil adopt a very aggressive high press in order to win the ball back as early as possible. With the opposition in possession, Brazil adopt a very aggressive man-to-man pressing structure. As soon as the first pass is made, Richarlison will close down one centre-back, with the winger on the opposite flank moving inside. Given the two midfielders being closely marked, it usually forces a pass out wide, where the winger is ready to close the fullback down, who now has no options but to kick it forward and look for a ball over the top. However, the physical strength at the back mean Brazil can often regain possession early. If the opposition beats the first initial press, then the structure will usually drop into a 4-1-4-1, with the wingers ready for a ball out wide and Casemiro patrolling the space between the lines. If even this isn't enough, the structure resorts to a 4-5-1, with Richarlison ready for any pass out of the defence, where he can lay it off to the wingers and instantly start Brazil's very dangerous and quick counterattacks. Brazil look the real deal this World Cup, and whoever they face in the next round faces a monumental task if they want to stop the 5-time world champions. And while they may have briefly lost Neymar, Brazil certainly don't struggle for strength in depth, with Antony, Gabriel Jesus and Rodrigo all being extremely dangerous from the bench. So let me know what you think of this Brazilian team and how far do you think they're going to go this World Cup. If you haven't seen it yet, why not check out this video on how Japan's deadly counterattacks were able to overcome Germany. If you enjoyed this content, then please leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.